press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello my dear students, welcome back to the classroom. We have been discussing about the chapter air around us. So in the previous class we will learn about the properties of the air. So in which first one is the air is invisible and it takes the shape of a container and it occupies the space. From this property we can do the simple activity here. See first in this activity, the name of the activity is to show the air occupies space by using the empty bottle. See the materials required here is a container and a bottle, and we have to keep the water ready for doing this activity. See first we have to take the empty bottle. We can say that empty bottle doesn't have anything, but here also the bottle which contains the air which can't be seen and it can be felt only, and in this activity we can show that the air occupies the space. And see now we hold the bottle in a inverted position. Inverted means here the mouth of the bottle is facing towards the downward, and so that we have to inverted position, we have to keep the bottle in a water container in which we have to pour the water, and afterwards if we immerse the bottle, it will not, the water will not enter into the bottle since the air is already present in the bottle, so that it will not sink in the water. And afterwards when we change the position of the bottle, then slowly the air will be escape from this bottle and thereby the water will enter through this mouth of the bottle. And here see we can see the air bubble goes out when the bottle change its position, and see thereby the water enters into the bottle, and here water doesn't enter into the bottle since the air is present in the bottle. And we can say that in the bottle is empty means here also the air is present, and from the in the surrounding we can say that the air is present, and here also we have to take the empty bottle and we have to invert its position. Inverted position, we have to keep the bottle in a container which is having the water, and afterwards if we immerse then it will not sink into the water. Due to the presence of air in the bottle, it will not sink, and if we change the position of the bottle, the water enters into the bottle so that the air escapes from the bottle. See the bubbles which I drawn here, you can see it is nothing but the air bubbles which escape from the bottle, and thereby the water enters into the bottle. And this is the simple activity, and from this activity we can conclude that conclusion is the glass bottle which appeared to be empty, glass bottle appears to be empty See glass bottle which appears to be empty was actually filled with the air. Filled with air. See once again I will tell you how this activity will be done. The name of the activity is to show the air occupies space by using the empty bottle. First we have to take the materials. Without the materials we can't do any activity. So that materials is must and should required. And here we have to take the container as well as the bottle that is made up of a glass, and we can use plastic also, bottle also, and in the container we have to fill up the water at medium sized water we have to fill up in the container, and thereby we have to keep the bottle in a inverted position facing towards the downward, and there afterwards water doesn't enter into the bottle since the air is present in the bottle, and when we change the position of the bottle, slowly the water present in the beaker or container enters into the bottle, and thereby the air which is present in the bottle will escape from the bottle. And here the dotted structure which I have written, and this is nothing but the air bubble which goes out when the when the water is enters into the bottle, and here water enters the bottle, and thereby the air will escape from the bottle and through the atmosphere it will move. And from this activity we can conclude that glass bottle which appears to be empty, see glass bottle which appears to be empty, this bottle also contains the air, and which is filled with the air, and this is the activity. Next we shall move on to the another concept. See, there are important terms which used in this chapter. I will write on the board now. See, air is present all around us. Air present all around us. We all know that air is present everywhere, and it can be felt its presence. Say like that, there are important terminologies or terms will be comes under this heading, and there is a device named as anemometer. A device which helpful for measuring the speed of the wind. See, this is a device name. Anemometer is one of the device which helpful to measure the speed of the wind, and another one is there, that one is a barometer which helps to it is one of the device which helps to measure the pressure of the air, and this is nothing but the barometer. And next one is the moving air is called as wind. Moving air is called as wind, and breeze is also comes under here, and breeze is nothing but the wind when the wind blows at a low speed. When the wind blows at low speed is called as breeze. See, at a low speed, if the wind will be blow means we call it as a breeze. And next one is when the wind blows at high speed. It is called as storm. Storm is nothing but the Birugadi. And see, this is the important terminologies which comes under this heading. And see, air present all around us, and in this presence of air we only felt through our sensory organ like skin. And one more device is there which helpful to measure the speed of the wind, and that device name is the anemometer. And another one device is there, barometer, which helpful to measure the pressure of the wind. And next one is moving air is called as wind. See, don't get confused here. Moving air we call it as a wind, whereas when the wind blows at a low speed, if low speed wind will be blown means it is called as breeze. And when the wind blows at a high speed, it is called as storm. See, in this condition, when the wind blows at a high speed, many plants will be uprooted, and many destruction will be takes place, and many houses will be moved from one place to other place, and like that we call it as a storm, nothing but the Birugadi. See, this is all about the terminologies which is present in this heading: anemometer, wind, breeze, and the storm. Storm is a very high blowing of the wind, whereas the breeze is nothing but low wind. The wind blows at a low speed, whereas the storm is the wind blows at a high speed is called as storm, low speed of a wind is called as breeze, and the moving air is called as wind. Anemometer is nothing but the device which helps to measure the speed of the wind, and barometer which helps to measure the pressure of a wind. And this is all about the terminologies. Next we shall move on to the, see, wind is helpful for us in many ways. Wind helpful for us in many ways. See, in which first one is the, it makes us to feel cool. See, it is one of the helpfulness of the wind. It helps us to feel cool. And another one is the, it helps in drying the wet clothes faster. Drying wet cloth faster. See, wind helpful for drying the cloth at a faster rate, so that in home mother will be hanging the cloth in the cloth line fan, so that by moving air will be helpful to drying the cloth. And next one is the, it helps in pollination purpose. See, as we all know that pollination is nothing but transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma. Thereby the seeds will be transferred from one place to the another place, and by using the wind only it will transfer, and many agents will be there like birds, insects, even human beings, and air is among these purpose agent. It helps in pollination. Next one is it makes the windmill to rotate. Windmill to rotate. When the windmill will be rotated, it generates the electricity. See, that's why in mountain region the planting of these windmill will be there, so that when the windmill will be rotate, the blades of the fan will be rotate, then the generation of the electricity will be produced. And with the help of wind only, this fan will be rotate. And this is the another use of the wind. And next one is it helps the birds, insects to fly. See, these are the different types of ways where we can see that wind helpful for us in many ways. See, as I told you in the previous class about the beneficialness as well as the destructive purpose of the wind, here is the helpfulness of a wind. See, in which first one is it makes us to feel cool. In first one is the wind which help us to make the cool, our body will become the cool. And next one is drying the wet cloth in a faster rate. See, if we hang the wet cloth in the lines where we can say that at faster rate it will be dry up. And next one, it helps in pollination. There are different agents of pollination will be there. Thereby we can say that the seeds will be move one place to another place, and thereby the germination of the seed and different types of plants will be grows, and air is among them one of these agent, and so it helps in pollination, transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma. With the help of air it will transfer it, and thereby fertilization takes place, and fruits will be grows, and when the fruit will be fall down, the seed will germinate, and later a new plant will be grows. And this is the third way where the wind helpful for us. Next one is the windmill helps to rotate. With the help of air only or the wind only, the windmill will be rotate. The blades of the windmill will rotate, and it generates the electricity. See, consider the mountain region, especially where the air will be more and more, and they will be placed so that when the moving air will across this windmill, the blades of this windmill will rotate, and thereby it generates or produce the electricity. And this generation or production of the electricity will be helpful for us and circulates through the cables as well as the wires. And see, this is another way. Next one is it helps the birds, insects to fly in the air, and these are the different air wind helpful for us, different ways of the helpfulness of the wind. Next we shall move on to the composition of the air. See, once again I will tell you, wind helpful for us in many ways, in which first one is it makes us to feel cool. Second, drying the wet cloth in a faster rate, and it helps in the pollination. See, in the second point, drying the wet cloth in a faster rate, usually in the winter season as well as the rainy season, the cloths will be hang outside, so that the wind will be comes in contact with the cloth, the faster rate it will dry up, and it is one of the helpfulness or uses of the wind. And next one is it helps in the pollination. See, pollination purpose, wind is one of the agent which help to transfer the pollen grains from one flower to the another flower. And with the help of wind or the moving air responsible for wind will to rotate, and thereby the blades of the windmill will rotate. It produces the electricity, and through the electricity it comes to our home with the help of cables and wires, and it helps in the birds as well as the insect to fly in the air. These are the uses of the wind. Next one is the composition of the air. See, as I told you, air is a mixture of different types of gases, dust particle, moisture content which is present in the air. And here what are the composition of the air we will learn now. Dust particles. See, this is the formula of the carbon dioxide which we exhale out from our body. And here this is the formula of the oxygen which we inhale from the atmosphere, and from the plants will release the oxygen, and thereby we inhale the oxygen. And argon, it is one of the gas which is present in the atmosphere. Nitrogen, this is the formula of the nitrogen. See, nitrogen is usually abundant in nature. Most of the 3/4 of the air which contains the nitrogen, it is very useful for gas which is present in the air. See, it is a major components. Major components, and oxygen is also another major components beside this nitrogen. And compared to the nitrogen, oxygen is less in nature, and this amount of oxygen is utilized by all living organisms, and most of the air which contains the nitrogen in the atmosphere, and so it is one of the major components in the air. And beside this nitrogen, oxygen is present in the 25% it is present, where compared to the nitrogen it is a 75% present in the nature or the air. And different types of dust particle, argon, helium, moisture, etc. See, these are the composition of the air. See, in which first one is the composition of the air. Air contains the varieties of gases also, and suspended particles which are present in the air. And see, air contains the dust particle, carbon dioxide, oxygen. See, this is the formula of the carbon dioxide as well as the oxygen, and it is a major components beside the nitrogen. And here nitrogen 3/4 of the air contains. See, air contains 3/4 of the nitrogen, and so it is one of the major components of the air. And beside this, another major components is present in the air, and that is nothing but the oxygen. And air is also contains the moisture. See, these are the different composition of the air. I will draw the diagram where we can easily understand the different components of the air. See, composition of air. See, this portion will contains the nitrogen, and this portion contains the oxygen, and remaining other parts, other dust and dirt particles will be present. Zero 0.1% of other dust as well as the moisture is present. Oxygen is present in the 21%, and here this one is the organ, 0.94% is present in the organ, and here 78% of nitrogen is present. See, if we add 78 to the 21, then we will get 9 plus 9, 99% will be present in the major components of the air, like nitrogen as well as the oxygen is present in the major components of the air, and remaining 1% will contain the argon, that is 0.94%, and the other moisture as well as the dust particle which contains the 0.1%. And see, this is the composition of the air. So this is all about the diagram where we can understand that the different components of the air, in which first one is the nitrogen. See, major components of the air which contains the nitrogen, because it is 78% of air is occupied by the nitrogen gas, and remaining other 21% will be present in the oxygen gas, and which is abundant in nature, and argon is 0.94% of argon is present, and remaining 0.1% of different dust particle as well as the moisture and different types of gases are suspended in the air. See, this is the diagram of the composition of the air. See, in today's class we will learn about the presence of air in all around us, and how the wind will be helpful for us to understand the concept. See, air helpful for us to make our body to feel cool, and air which helpful for understand for drying the cloth, and it help for pollination, that is transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma, and thereby different flowers it will transfer, and air is one of the agents of the transformation of the pollen grains, and so that it is helpful for the pollination purpose. And next one is the air is also helpful for the birds and different types of insects to fly in the air, and these are the different ways where we can see the wind is used, and wind is very beneficial for us. And next one is the composition of the air. Air contains different types of mixture or the different types of gases like carbon dioxide, nitrogen, argon, helium, dust particle moisture content is present, and these particles will be suspended in the air. And here the diagram which shows that how the different components will be present. See, in the nitrogen about 75% is covered with the nitrogen, the air, and oxygen is 21%, and other gases and other suspended particle which are present in the air, which contains very less amount, that is 0.1%, and argon is present in the 0.94%, and this is all about the composition of the air. So in today's class we will learn about these concepts. Thank you.